Country changing. Okay, this is a blooper. Come link, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the commentary show. Continuing on with that, having a wonderful day on this first July 2025 Canada Day, even though it's cancelled because of the rain. I usually like to give you guys a little sunset, but as you can see, it's raining, so I'm gonna give you guys something else, and I think you're gonna like it or not. Depends. But here we go. This is actually really rare, so enjoy. Yeah, a full-ass rainbow. It's very rare that you get both endings. And the clarity of it, it's really nice. Look at this. Because I'm a young man after all. We have the beautiful here. Look at this. That's here. And you know what? Just for the sake of the argument, let's take a couple picture. I can jerk off to it later. Okay, let's make some videos. Okay. Don't blink, it's your boy Yank. Welcome to the commentary show. Welcome to another video. I'm doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 1st July 2025. It is Canada Day. Sadly, as you can see, it's raining outside, so it is cancelled, which is exactly the video of today. Yes, you see a rainbow here. It's a really rare rainbow because if you look at it carefully, it is complete from start to finish. You can see it. It's actually really rare. So today we're talking about the Canada Day. We're talking about how I feel will be cancelled. This is kind of like a part 2, if you will, of our video of this morning, which was Canadian guilt. How I feel guilty being Canadian when it's convenient and being Canadian when I want it. Actually proud of my roots no matter what they are, and I should be proud of my roots no matter how convenient, right? So the reason why we're really guilty is not really hard. And the party that happened was that there's no fucking way. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I thought we had lost a rainbow, which would have been so cool because I got to film it. Yeah, with nature corn, what I'm realizing is if you don't get it on camera, you're not gonna get it. It's really rare. So what happened is when I went in, I possibly pushed the camera. That's why it wasn't showing up. We're still seeing the rainbow a little bit, which is cool. So, acknowledging how shitty it is. And this is a big acknowledgement because, first of all, if I'm being completely honest, well, it's kind of like a moot point. So a moot point is something that is null. It's neither good or bad, it's a big old zero. And we had a party on the 24th, which I went, which wasn't for me, but at least the city did something, right? Today we had a little party, which was cancelled, but there was still something. There was still some activities. So yes, it was still something in the city, and although it wasn't as enjoyable, it was still something I went to. Now both of these, I would have went. I wouldn't have went if it wasn't to make content. I'm just being honest here. I would have not went if it wasn't for making content. But then again, I wouldn't wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning if it wasn't for content. There's a lot of things I wouldn't do if it wasn't for content. So this is kind of normal behavior. This is something that you're able to acknowledge that you're doing on a general basic. Why is it also important? Because it's not isolated behavior. It's not behavior that has to do with Canada Day, nor is it behavior that has to do with Saint Jean, which is the French Heritage Day of Quebec, which is 24 June, 1st July. I did not decide to act on an event. I decided to continue acting the way we're acting normal, which is again continuation. Nothing new, nothing bad. However, my reaction to the camera was, and I think it's a defensive mechanism, was coping. So our way of coping is, you know what, it didn't really happen, but at least we tried. It went. I want to show you this because this is also very beautiful. I want to show both. You know, because this is, it's rare that we have a beautiful nature corn like that. Talking about filming something or not, do you think that there's a certain use of filming every single day nature corn? Lately I was complaining about clear sky. Well, there's clear sky, however, are the exact same. If we're talking about clouds, they're moving, they're different, they're unique, you know? It's like filming it's like if you got to film a snowflake, which on this camera I probably could. With a 30%, with a 30 times the zoom, I possibly could. We barely see it anymore. But it's still there, and I'm happy because we filmed for 8 minutes, and I got to film it at its glory, at its peak, which is kind of cool. That being said, with today, was I pissed that it didn't happen? No. Did I really care? Kinda and kinda not. Did I care that it was celebration? Not really. Did I care that my city was doing something? Yes. This whole behavior. For example, the French show, I went in with the presumption that the band that was gonna be there, which is an older lady. I'm not saying that older lady cannot rock, but I'm saying that some people, you have to see the prime, and you have to see like, okay, well, this was a really good show. I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised, first of all, and I gotta say, there's a lot more people that showed up than I thought, which is amazing, because it does show that she still has impact on culture, culturally speaking. And yes, culturally speaking, she is one of the big star. So that was great for the city. That was great for the city. We didn't have Prime Marjo, which is her name, but we still had Marjo, which is kind of cool. So I went in expecting nothing, right? And I got out having a great show. And this is fucking unbelievable. You see, when it comes to the fireworks, we only get them twice a year, which is not true, because on New Year's you have the fireworks. However, on New Year you also have the show of the New Year. So, for example, there's a whole night dedicated to that. There's a couple of shows that talk about the year, and usually they're humoristic, but also like nice little recap, you know. And that's it. If it was a film, kind of good. Now, when I saw the shows, I could have spectacles in French. I could have done a couple of things differently. Okay, well, that's a funny thing. That's a really fun thing. On La Saint Jean, I worked the whole day. On Cannes Day, we made a mistake yesterday, where we filmed too much. So I could upload on YouTube, but I couldn't upload anywhere else because my phone was full. So I couldn't upload on TikTok. So when I woke up, the first step was to upload on TikTok. Now I'm thankful because TikTok is faster than YouTube, but it's still a mess. Why is TikTok faster than YouTube? Well, if TikTok upload one video at a time, YouTube will upload every single video at a time. You know, that's why TikTok is also better. TikTok will also compress your video, so compress the quality. YouTube will do the opposite. YouTube will take a shitty quality videos and upload it on high quality. So this is kind of what's going on. So today I had a bit more time and I watched people, and it was really nice. It was really nice because, so there's two things about that. This is in general, right? This is a huge video, but I feel like it's something that needs to be said. When it comes to content, I'm watching more French Canadian content creator. First of all, with English, I get a lot of content creation that is English. I don't really need one more or one less content creator that's English, which is sad to say, but is the truth. I watch a lot of French people, and it's funny because when I watch a French content creator on a platform, I don't know, I haven't done it, so you would think not, but on TikTok, with the battles, I do it, which is kind of nice, which is kind of something new. something new, definitely something new. So that being said, I think it was cool because today I saw a lot of people celebrating Canada Day. I saw more people celebrating Canada Day than I saw people celebrating La Saint Jean, which is again the French heritage. But at the same time, there's more Canadian. There's French Canadian, right? I think we're a ninth of the population, or a little bit less than that, which is crazy. Of Canada, the whole thing. So see, Quebec is one of the biggest province, but it's still just a province. A province is what? A province would be similar to a state in the United States. You guys know that the states have 52, 52, I don't know if it's 51 or 52 states. I know it's around those, because there's 52 stars on the flag, so you would think it's 52 states. And yeah, it's kind of nice because, oh, fun fact, did you know that there's a letter that's present in no countries, which is Q? Yeah. Now I know what you said, bro. Quebec is with a Q. Yeah, but Quebec is not a province. It's not a country. It's a province. Yeah. So, with content creation, and at the same time, I'm watching very different content on platforms. So, for example, on YouTube, I'm watching something that is more relaxed, more archive. I'll watch documentary. I'll watch complete show compilation. Right now, what we're doing is we're watching Our Stern, and we're watching things that are like 12, 14, 15 years old, which are really cool because culture was different. The laws, the politically correct didn't exist. It's another era. It feels like it's a different generation because it is a different generation. By the way, I don't think like I need something that happens now. I'll watch recipe. Right now we're on a deep dive of 3 things. There's the book talk, which is I really love. There's this guy, I always forget his name. Super interesting. Maybe you know him if I'm talking about him. He's a black dude, kind of built up, no glasses, cornrow, short cornrow. This guy is super amazing, and he has how can I say that? He has a very good understanding of his demographics. So for example, it's like, okay, well, this is a series. Okay, well, this is one off. Okay, well, this is one of the books. He does it really nicely, and he's honest. Like for example, see, the beginning was shit, but the ending was good. You know, so I like him. There's over talk. So for example, we're suing. I for some reason, I'm getting a lot of theories. So for example, for Art the Clown. For Chucky, what is the next step for Chucky? For Child Plays. No, sorry. Dead by Daylight. Chucky is Child Play, but Dead by Daylight, which is another play. I'm making another video for that, which is kind of cool. And the last one is cooking. But it's not any type of cooking. It is air fryer cooker. Like for example, today I wrote down a recipe for s'mores, which is basically putting fucking marshmallow in the air fryer because they'll melt. You take it out of the air fryer one time and you put chocolate on it, like big chunk of chocolate, and then you go put it back, and then you take graham cookies, which are big rectangles. What you do is you dip them like a dipped fried chips, and you eat it, and that gives you a s'more. I'm gonna do that for sure, you know. Or yesterday was not yesterday, possibly Saturday or Friday, one of those two. They give you the recipe for a bean casserole, which was decadent. It looked good. I'm not a bean guy. I'm not a bean guy for a simple reason. Again, this is Canada. We have this meal in French Canada, which I'm gonna make a lot of people disappointed by not liking it, which is called the five au lard. The five au lard, what it is, it's beans, normal beans like Heinz beans, and you put them in a very sweet sauce, which is maple syrup. It's not maple syrup, it's a bit thicker than maple syrup. So what you do is, when you have the maple syrup, you cook it. The sugar in it caramelizes a little bit. Yes, you can make caramel with maple syrup. And because it caramelizes a little bit, it gets thicker. So what you do is you constantly stir before you reach the point where it's cooking. You take it out. You get the right little sauce of maple. And that's pretty much it. To come back to the video, sorry. Side tangent, right? I do those. I do those sometimes. Um, what was really cool with the whole thing, and I do mean really cool with the whole thing, is that how can I say this? By watching people celebrate kind of day, and I still felt, and this is kind of like an important thing, right? Kind of really important thing, because today, like I said, I made a video for Canada, and talk about how embarrassing it was that I chose this race, which is, oh, I'm Canadian. No, no, I'm French Canadian. Depending on what should we call it, um, on the person. I'm gonna say something that I hope doesn't sound racist. Um, for example, right? I don't fucking know. You're Italian, and you go to a place. For example, I don't fucking know. You go to a place like Greece, right? And you meet this family, and you meet this family, and you're also Italian. So the whole time, your guys are spending time together, and you're recreating in a little Italy. You're having the culture, you're having the meals from Italy, but then you're in Greece, and you're like, well, I was supposed to go to Greece to absorb the culture, but instead I kept my culture. So this diving in the country didn't really happen. So that sucks. Now, why am I saying this? Well, because Quebec and Canada feels like two different countries. It really does feel like a different country. I had a friend, Andrew, which lives in Ontario, which is the northern side of Canada, but more so the English side of Canada. So Toronto and Ontario are super important place, historically speaking, but also culturally speaking, and they're huge city. They're not the biggest city in Canada, but they're very important. It would be a sort of New York and USA. It would be a kind of yeah, a New York. Um, yeah, it would be New York. So that it's not a capital, but it's close to it. I actually don't know where the capital of Canada is. I think it's Toronto, but I'm not sure. Um, and then by seeing those TikTok lives, so what happened is I went to the party and it was cancelled, and I was like, okay, well, why do you give a shit? Well, because you cannot film something, right? You can't really film something. Why did you give a shit about the show? The show of Marsha was great. Would I have stand there for 2 hours to watch the integrity of the show? Nah. No, no. No, no. Even though she gave a good show, I didn't have a good place. I didn't see. She gave herself. She was dancing, and she's in her 70s, guys. She's in her 70s, so something's about that. Her blood, amazing. Genetics, amazing. It was cool. It was really cool. Now I'm watching the presentation about the candidates, so what they're planning to do. Now, ultimately speaking, and I was gonna say that I didn't think about it. I didn't finish it. I'm sorry. So I was thinking I could have easily did. Okay. Oh my god. Now I understand when I talk about this. There's two reasons. So by being on TikTok, I saw people in Canada celebrated, but I also saw some French Canadian, and they were living in a city. I don't live in a city. I live in a Okay, I live in a town. I live in a town. I don't live in the city. Towns, cities are different. They look different, but they're different. I don't know if it's smaller or less people. I don't know. I'm not a cartographer, thank God, because you would get lost the fuck out. So we saw people, and they were celebrating the city, and there was bigger Canada Day. There was bigger celebration, and then I was like, holy shit! If there's nothing in Lachine, I can go there. But at the same time, fuck that. Of course, I'm happy that people are celebrating. At the same time, who is filming or who is documenting the thing in Canada? So I did a video today. There was no show. I did a video, and I was like, well, it's kind of important because okay, well, these are serious. Okay, well, the celebration for this. I started to saying something during the videos. I didn't finish it. Not this video, the first one we did. My father worked for the city, and in the Sheen in 2008, we had sort of an Olympics. We didn't have the Olympics, but we have an activity of the Olympics. So the person carrying the torch passed by Lachine, and the city spent 1,000 upon 10,000 upon 100,000. I don't have the exact same number. Building some stuff and making the cities nice, right? To bring tourists. And then my father working for the city. The next day, he said, "Okay, guys, the bosses, they're saying, okay, well, guys, let's take it down. My father was one of the loudmouth, just like I am, very voluble, very talkative. And he was like, okay, well, can we keep something as sort of like a memento? I don't care if we take down shit, but can we keep something as a memento? Say, no. Everything in the garbage. You know? And this was it was a big, it was a big point of disappointment for my father. And at the same time, my love for the city is, of course, I was born here. Of course, I live here. But hearing people talk about it, hearing people talk about Lachine, and the funniest thing is, in the good way but in the bad ways, people saying Lachine is a dirty town, or it's full of people that don't work and people that are abusing the government and charity, generosity, shit like that. And I'm like, fuck, I'm from Lachine, dude. So if you talk about people from Lachine, talk about me, right? Kind of like a pride. And ultimately speaking, this is also very important in the video because at the same time, was I happy that we celebrate Quebec? Absolutely. Was I happy that we celebrate Canada? Absolutely. And then when you ask me what I am, if you don't know Quebec, and I know that you don't know Quebec, I'll say I'm Canadian. And if there's a chance that you know Quebec, I'll say Quebec. For example, and what is really weird is a mosquito. Did I get you? Not even. Fuck. I didn't want to break the glass, so I didn't get hard enough. Most of the time, what I'll say, which is completely weird, but I'll say I'm from Montreal. And surprisingly, which is crazy to me, there's more people that know what Montreal is than know what Quebec is. So Montreal it's a very popular city. It's a very huge city. So that's why people know Montreal. Coming back to the TikTok, seeing people live and celebrating Canada Day kind of woke something up inside me. Again, we watched it after we went to the party that was canceled. Why did it wake up something in me? I was seeing people party, and I was seeing people make content out of Canada Day, and it was a huge celebration. Happy Canada Day, Happy Canada Day. It was crazy. It was crazy. So these are how can I say that? These are kind of like unwritten rules. So it's culturally speaking, it's not something that's widely known. The color of the French Canadian flag are blue. So when it's La Saint Jean, usually what you'll do is you'll wear some blue. The kind of color, the color of the flag of Canada are red. So usually what you'll do is you'll wear red. And I'm seeing people with red. I'm seeing people singing. I saw somebody singing, "Oh Canada." I know the French version. I don't know the English version. Terre de nos aïeux. Yeah. Which is country of our ancestor. Or what is it? Terre. Birthplace, something like that, you know. And I was just happy, and I was able to kind of feel related to it. Kind of feel like, okay, well, this is pertinent to me. If somebody said, "Hey, happy Cinco de Mayo," I was like, "Thank you," but I'm not laughing, you know. Somebody said, "Hey, happy Hanukkah," hey, but I'm not Jewish, you know. And yeah, it was weird. It was weird because celebrating, for example, right? I don't know. Christmas. With Christmas, it's more of a family thing, right? It's more like staying at home, watching a good movie, remembering the good time, being comfortable, spending time with your loved one. Then at work, they also celebrate Christmas, and it's your second family. It's like, okay, well, this is not my family, these are my friends, but I still want to celebrate Christmas with them, you know? At Christmas, when did you tell your boys, "Hey, Merry Christmas"? You know, it's odd. So kind of, I felt kind of related to it. We'll go bathroom. I'll be right back. Fuck. First of all, it's just gas. Well, for now it's just gas. Maybe. There you go. Just gas. So. But I also feel like, okay, well, we went to a party and I was having the expectation of a party, but the party didn't happen. So because the party didn't happen, then my expectation were left. I have to go bathroom. Okay. Sorry about that. Uh, like I said, we ate some junk food today because we're celebrating. But yeah, so was I able to relate to the content of today because we didn't have a party? Was that the reason? Because if it is the reason, there's nothing wrong with that. However, it's kind of, how can I say that? You want the reason why you're able to enjoy something to be because I'm enjoying it, not because I'm kind of pushed to enjoy it. What I'm trying to say is because we didn't get to celebrate the holidays, we're trying to fight. It's like a relationship. I was with this girl, but then she left me. So I have this thing. I have this. I'm fucking single, and I'm finally single. I can get laid. I can get laid, and then you spend a couple of days partying, right? And then it hits you. Oh, I'm single, and now okay, well the healing starts, right? And that's why people get into a relationship quickly. People that are single that get to a relationship that get back to being single are right away trying to find a relationship because they're not able to handle the healing process. It's too much for them. So what they do is they put themselves in a position where they're gonna get hurt again. That way they don't have to heal. My neighbor's there. Yesterday, you know what she did? She put a chair outside, and it was a computer. There's a computer outside. She did the computer outside, which is insane. Because there's bugs. There's actually bats in the machine. Yeah, there's bats. My father had one last month, 2 months ago. I don't know. He had a bat. So yeah. So, and if it is the case, then it's weird. Because we established that if I wasn't making content, I possibly wouldn't have cared about La Saint Jean or Canada Day. La Saint Jean Canada Day, I would have cared. Like I said, it's funny because I did say this today. La Saint Jean would have just been an excuse to listen to French Canadian media, so videos, shows, music. That would have been my way of celebrating. And for Canada Day, it was a Trailer Park Boys episode, special because they're in Nova Scotia, which is close to Ontario. I think it's in Ontario actually. Nova Scotia, NS. So yeah. You know, Canada's a beautiful country. There's no war, a lot of resources. It's a good place to live. Economy isn't too fucked. It's a little bit fucked, but it's not too fucked. I don't know what happened to my mom today. She was worried about her dying, and she was saying, "Oh my God, what's gonna happen when I die? How are you gonna survive?" Mom, you're not gonna die tomorrow. First of all, and I was okay. I'm okay now. I don't think if you die, and I know that's horrible to say, but I'll have financial death spots. You know, I even have enough money for a coffin. We're good, Mom. Don't worry about it. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough because it felt great, but it felt also a bit of a guilty trip. When you realize, oh my God, these people are celebrating Canada Day, and although the show is canceled, I'm still getting to celebrate it a little bit. Now, did I film people live and say, hey, you know, happy Canada Day? So I did a compilation. Could have done a couple of lives, screen a little bit, record a little bit, and then put it together and say, hey, Canada Day. Then put a montage, 30, 40 content creator. And again, it would be easy because TikTok will push you in your region, you know? But I didn't do it because it was a small celebration. It wasn't a celebration. I even, it's nuts. Because we went out on our scooter, there's a bunch of people having a Canada Day flag on their houses. But then, and that's what I'm trying to say with the guilt. A lot of people have Quebec flag there. So yeah. Anyway, that's enough for long videos. But I love you, that you matter. I'll see you guys soon. Take it easy. Peace. Don't blink, 'cause you're blink. Welcome to the show. doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this here. First July 2025, so happy Canada Day to each and every single one of you. Today we're talking about the next series we're going to be watching. We just finished Overlord, and my ADHD brain cannot handle waiting a couple of days for another season, so we're going to be watching Squid Game. Now, Squid Game, I was going to wait a little bit because, again, I want the hype to die down. I don't want to have to do like videos. So, for example, right? People that recap it or are reviewing Squid Games, they're going to get together and like, okay, well, first day views. So first day views is a concept of a game came out, I'm going to play the shit out of this game, release content. A movie came out, I'm going to watch it and I'm going to review it. This is what day one views are. So with Squid Game, I didn't want to watch it because it's a good show, but I missed season 2 and season 1. Now, what really happened, I'll be completely honest as to why I didn't watch it. There's a lot of shows that for some reason stopped making content after season 1. They just stopped. And they stopped making content and, okay, well, am I waiting for season 2? And then it gets cancelled and like, okay, well, why did you bother doing season 1 if there's not season 2, right? So with Squid Game, what happened was we watched it back in 2021, yes. Because Junior, one of my really good friends, told me, Junior, it's funny because Junior was the one who convinced me to get Netflix. To watch La Casa de Papel, which is House of Cards. No. House of Cards is also a really good show. Really good show. Possibly one of the first series I watched during the pandemic. During the pandemic, I watched a lot of series on Netflix. A lot of them. I was playing Cyberpunk and watching House of Cards, which is crazy. We watched Parks and Recs. And we watched Squid Game. My apologies. So I watched it, and Junior's like, okay, well, when you're done with the, Money Heist with Casa de Papel. Casa de Papel is Money Heist, which is a really good show. So Junior was like, hey, when you're done with that, watch Squid Game. And I never had a show like Squid Game. So I started watching it, and I really liked it. It was a show which was really cool because the introduction is actually quite nice. There's a shitty person that's willing to do anything for their money. He's a shitty person because he's haggling his mom. He's not a good father. You know, he's kind of like a shitty human being. The fact that he's deaded, you're like, okay, well, I know why. And the fact that he has the exit door where he can sacrifice his life to survive and get money, you can kind of tell that this guy will do anything that he can to survive. Now, I think this was released in 2021. I'm not sure. What they did was they released season 2, I think it was last year. Whereas I think it was during the winter for sure. And then they released season 3 well, technically speaking, they released on the 27th because Fortnite released a game mode Squid Games, which is really cool. And that's pretty much it, yeah. So why are we watching it now? Well, the first season was really good. The second season I didn't watch it. I wanted to watch it, but at this time, it's weird. It's really weird. So I'm watching season 1, right? And I got a bunch of shows. So we watched 60 Days In. That we didn't recap. We watched Squid Game. We didn't recap because I was depressed and I didn't want to make content. I was really, really depressed. Okay, say fuck making content. Fuck that. So we didn't do it. As simple as this. We didn't make content. Then, because I didn't finish recapping season 1. I don't know. So during the winter, we watched 2 shows. Remember watching, I'm gonna show you something. Because she usually told to get out. But since it's raining today, she won't. Which is good. Okay. So because I had a lot of shows to recap, I was like, hey, well, fuck watching shows you have to recap because you're already behind. And you're not a little bit behind, you're very, very behind. There you go. So what we did was, because this phone I'm going to use it to just make sure that we don't have firework. What we did is we connected it to this. This is the wire. And yeah, so we're gonna be charging it a little bit. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be enough. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so we didn't watch season 2, and then season 3 came out. And the reason why we're recapping it is because the spoiler. There's a lot of people putting spoilers in there. They're putting spoilers and spoilers and spoilers and spoilers. I'm like, fuck that. I have to watch it. I already know how it's gonna end. But the good news is I know how it's gonna end, but I don't know much about it. So for example, I know season 2, I know Thanos because so many people talk about Thanos. So many people talk about how important he was and shit like that. And then in season 3, I know that there's a baby and the main character is gonna be like, we're not animals, we're not horses, we're humans. He's gonna kill himself. That way the baby win. That's pretty much it. I know the VIP joins the game, but I don't know why. I don't know people's favorite are the frontmen, which is actually a really good actor. But my favorite is possibly the salesman, because I believe that he delivered such a powerful thing. And all of this is without watching the show. Just watching TikTok and just watching YouTube and shorts and edits and shit like that, you know? Squid Game. Wait, do you really soon? And I do mean really soon. There is a disclaimer. I've watched season 1 3 times, so I know it a lot. Season 2 we didn't watch it, and season 2, I believe, I'm not sure. I think I watched the first episode. I think so, but I'm not sure. So yeah, so we'll recap this, and that's pretty much it. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't blink, it's your buying. Welcome to the show. Everything well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 1st July 2025, aka after the day. Today is a very rainy day, which means there probably not gonna be fireworks, which makes your boy very sad. But again, I'm at peace with that. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Today we're talking about a video for Gundam. I got a good news, I got a bad news. So we started with the third one. So technically speaking, we already did 3 series. So we did Gundam 1979, we did Gundam Z, we did Gundam, and now we're doing Gundam and ZZ. However, we also did Gundam Seed. So here's the first one about the third series. There's some good news, there's some bad news. Let's talk about it. So I'm feeling kind of good about it. We're already halfway there because I had a lot of time today, but also I had a lot of AP, ability point, or action point. I don't fucking know. And you just run through it. The series is good. The main character is a new type, just like Amuro was and just like Camille was. There's a lot of mention for those. However, here's some negative right away. For example, Boa. Boa, I was happy to see him in season 2 because I'm like, hey, I know this character. In season 3, I'm like, ugh, I saw you again. Season 3 is all about the enemy, which is the Neon. The Neo Zeon, which is, again, the same enemy as season 1 and season 2. So that's kind of not great, because it feels the same. It feels redundant. And I'm 3 series in out of 18. So the story feels good, but at the same time, Camille. So the season 2, so season 1 is a dude that is thrown into a war because he's talented. It's like, hey, yo, you're one of the only hope that we have. You're a rare new type, and because you're a new type, we need you. You're super valuable. Second one is like, okay, well, guess what? Your whole family was killed by the enemies. There's a dictatorship. You can bring freedom to people. So your new type will give you the power to change that. The third one is a kid. And at the same time, the plot is actually quite nice because the plot is about the effect of war. So everybody's poor, there's no job. Most adults are dead, which means there's a lot of kids that are orphaned that have to fend up for a living. They do is they take these scrap metals and then they sell it. Part of Gundam and shit like that. So this is kind of cool because it does show the effect of war. And it shows that, okay, well, this is not the first war, this is not the second war. This is the third war in a row. So this is actually quite nice. The kind of the negative thing about that is you go out from a dude that was trying to bring freedom to people to a dude that's just trying to get money for his sister. Now, ultimately speaking, he has some emotions, and he's like, okay, well, I owe him. Also, I don't like the crew, because his crew of Scavenger, they're after money a lot, so they'll betray the good guys, get some money. There's a villain, she's a kid, and she's asking the main guy, play with me, play with me, play with me. And because he doesn't want to play, she gets mad, and she's also a new type, so she fights him. She fights him because he didn't want to play, which is stupid. But then again, it's stupid, but it brings out a very good thing. It brings out a good thing, and the only reason why I know that's because I actually try to sell you that third season is good. I'm working a lot to sell you. It's a good thing because, yes, it's very childish, but most of the humans, most of the adults are killed because of war. So we have human soldier, we have children soldier. What you call it? I think it's called toy soldier, something like that. So yeah, so it's actually really cool. The story in itself it's okay. It's not great. It's once again Gundam versus Gundam. Now I believe what's going on is I've played too much Gundam lately, and because I've played too much Gundam lately, then it's affecting my ability to enjoy Gundam. So what we'll do is we'll take a break from it. Now there's still dailies, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna just do extras. Extras are making the dailies and making sure that we get the material to upgrade shit. That's pretty much it. And doing the event that don't require narrative. That's the extra. So not good, not great, but not bad. Don't blink, if you blink. Welcome to our show. I was doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 1st July 2025. Today we're talking about Gundam. Yes, the G1 application. There's been a new update that rolled out, which is 2 gigs. I'm gonna tell you what I think about the new upgrade, the new update. I'm gonna tell you how I feel that the game is going. So first of all, it's really positive. They added 3. They added a bunch of mechanics that were really needed. So for example, you're not able to okay, well, they had a new series, and they also had it that you have to unlock the series to unlock the development. So people could go in the very last development and get super good units because, again, there was no restriction, which was kind of cool. First of all. Second of all, they added a lot of series. I think they added 3 series, which is not a lot, but when you think that the original had I think it's 13 series, adding 3, it's almost 25%, so that's a lot. Second of all, they're getting a lot of prices. There's a new unit. We had the guy with the sight, now we have the guy, and he's super cool. He has 3 forms. One of them has a sword, one of them has a cannon, one of them is just he's throwing a sword. That's actually really badass. The story itself, it's not moving a lot. The map event, it's kind of sad because there's a lot to work with, but he took out a lot of work. So for example, the PvP is gone. It's per season, so it's gonna come back, but later on. You took out a map event, which was also super cool, and you replace it with kind of like a raid bosses. So what you can do is you can fight certain type of Gundam, and you get part for them, which is cool. So why is that cool? It's because when the game came out, so it was the first event that he ever did, and it was the Red Gundam, and the Red Gundam was only there for a little bit. So if you managed to do it, you had a Red Gundam. If you didn't manage to do it, you lost the unit. Now what is really cool is they did 4 units. So for example, you don't like this Gundam, you have this other one, and this other one, and this other one. What is the supreme cool is they're not overpowered. So I still have to figure out this system, but I think it's rare, super rare, super super rare, ultra rare, which is what we're looking for. And that's pretty much it. So a lot of new stuff. The game looks good, to be honest. I'm excited. We'll see what's up. That is pretty much it. So love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't blink if you're playing. Okay, so welcome to our show. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day on this 1st July 2025. Today we're talking about a bit of a streaming. And this is an update on the channel of. Oops, the phone is too hot. Oh shit. It's not too hot. Schnitzel. Holy shit. Give me a sec, guys. Give me a freaking second. Schnitzel. This almost never happens. Oh my god. This never happened before. The phone was completely full, which is crazy. So we heard the phone go out, and usually when that does is because the phone is too hot. And I'm watching it and I'm like, holy shit, it's not too hot. So what happened? The storage was full. We had 130 fucking mosquito. 300 megabyte left. So this video, like I said, is more so for the update on the gaming channel, which is kind of important. First of all, there's a couple of questions I want to answer. Why are we streaming less? With a job, I'm often not home. I'm streaming from the PS4, which is at home. So we're coming from a place where, I don't have access to my streaming material there. I release content that is from stream, but those are clips. If you want to see me live, it's a bit harder. Also, we have a lot of games that are on mobile. So what I do is I have 2 games that are mobile. So Gundam, first of all, and Silver and Blood. Whether we have 2 games, one to go in work and one from coming back home from work. So this is kind of important because, again, in the bus I'm doing nothing. In the bus I'm doing absolutely nothing. So that's first. This is why you don't see me often live. This is why you're seeing a lot of gaming from mobile. It's not perfect. The screen is all fucked up. What am I supposed to do? As for second of all, why aren't we playing Diofield Chronicle? So I promised you guys that Diofield Chronicle was gonna be the next game we played, and because Elden Ring is such a big game, I did a region. I want to take a break. Then we're doing another region, and then when you're seeing me stream, the little time that I'm streaming, it is a stream of, drumroll please, Elden Ring. You're right. So why are we playing Elden Ring? Well, to be completely honest, Gundam, which is a game that we're playing right now, is extremely, extremely narrative heavy. So it's a lot of reading, it's a lot of story, and then I have to recap it, so I have to focus. Silver and Blood, another game that is very narrative heavy. So the 2 games are sort of on the AFK side. So there's a lot of dialogue, and then the fighting is automatic. So dialogue, fighting that I don't have to do dialogue. So they're both dialogue heavy. Now, what's going on is I'm kind of tired of dialogue because I talk a lot, but I listen a lot, which is tiring in itself. So Diofield Chronicle would have been a 3rd narrative game. Now, is Diofield very heavy narratively? Not really. It's not really. It isn't that bad. It's actually pretty good. But it raises the question, how much narrative is too much, I used to play a game called Arknights, and the biggest complaint about Arknights was we would have events which had 9, 10 stages, and every single time that you would have an event, it would take you an hour 50, an hour 20 to read a single event. So you had an event that lasted 10 hours, which is great. We love events that last a long time, but it's just story. Like, I enjoy the story, but if I don't enjoy the story, so if I don't like the narrative or the plot of this event, and I don't give a shit, then I'm missing all of the reward because I didn't give enough of a shit. So we're back with Elden Ring. Elden Ring is very narrative poor. So Elden Ring is kind of like a special case. there is a lot of narrative, but it's hidden. So you have a very summarized version of the narrative by playing the game. By finding bosses, they'll tell you the story of the game. You have your sidekick, which is Melina. She'll tell you the story of the lands, right? You'll fight bosses, and those bosses have lore. Now, the story of Elden Ring is in the items. You pick up item, and they tell you, okay, well, guess what? This is the weapon of a demigod when he has a fight against this person. And holy shit, those two fights, which is why their armies are at war. This is the fight they're talking about. Elden Ring being less narrative heavy, give me a little bit of a relaxation. There's also a couple of things. When I'm coming back from work, I'm a bit more tired. Elden Ring, which is for some fucking reason, which is very hard to understand, kind of feels like Borderland. I know what you're gonna say, bro, this doesn't make any sense. So why I like Borderland so much was there was no narrative. And the narrative kind of, it's not the most complex, so you play the game once, and understand it. The reason why I like Borderlands so much was because I could start a game, shoot people, and that was it. I didn't have to worry about, oh, I'm saving the world. I'm just a Vault Hunter. Elden Ring, you're saving the world, but are you a good guy or a bad guy? It's not precise. So it just felt like that. It just feels like I can take a break. And yeah, I can just turn my brain off. Also, Elden Ring being a bit less narrative heavy, it allows me to watch something in the background. So for example, right now what we're doing is we're watching a lot of shows that we're recapping. A game like Elden Ring allows me to watch a show that I'm not going to recap. Also, you see me play a lot of Fortnite. Fortnite is also that because there's no story. So I can just chill and relax. And this is why we're playing Elden Ring and not Titanfall Chronicle. This is why there's no stream to the channel. It's gonna be a while before it gets back to normal. In a perfect world, it gets back to normal very simply because we're used to working, we're used to having to go to work, we're used to waking up at a certain time. Right now, it's still a period of adaptation. You know, last week I didn't complain about it, but last week just standing on my feet was painful. Just that was painful. Why? Well, just because it was. You're not used to it. You're not used to standing on your feet for 8 hours. You know. So for you guys are asking me on the main channel, why aren't you working out? Because I'm tired. So, Elden Ring is a way of making content. Well, not really making content. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.